What's going on, guys? Here I am, ready for another Shenmue video, and today I got a funny story to talk about. Funny story? No, funny topic. This topic was suggested to me by none other than Adam Korlick. I met him at a conference a couple weeks ago, and he's like, hey, I think you should talk about this very subject. You've seen the title, but first, the Shenmue-related topic. A couple of things. First, there was a Kickstarter update, and in this Kickstarter update, they mentioned that it might be a difficult case to actually get Steam keys 1 year after the launch of Shenmue 3, because the Epic exclusivity for the game for about 1 year, when that expires, they want to, of course, give Steam keys to those that wanted Steam keys to begin with, those fans that were upset about that because they don't want to put it on Epic Games. But it seems that they're having trouble getting Steam keys from Steam. Now, I don't know what that's about or what the controversy is related to or why that's even happening. We could only speculate, but it seems that Steam is being a little difficult. Now, the options that could be available is like, okay, if you're not going to give us the keys, we'll pay for them and we'll just give it to the backers who want. But then, of course, that's going to cost money. And we know money problems is not something that this franchise needs because we got to grow. So that's one thing. Another topic is that it seems that additional surveys were given out, and it seems that the refunds that people wanted are going to be very soon and happening very soon. So that's good news for everyone. But here we are, as I'm recording this, it's late September, and we were promised the demo. Haven't seen the Shenmue 3 demo yet. I'm hoping to see it shortly because we're at the latter end of the month, and Shenmue 3, when that demo comes out, I want to play it right away. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see when that comes out. But without further ado, let's get into the topic of what we're getting as backers, and should we be upset? Here we go. Check it out. So in 2001, players of Sega's Shenmue 2 on the Dreamcast were experiencing an epic saga that was telling a story just beginning to unfold when they saw the following message. The story goes on. North American players would see this same message on the Xbox 1 year later. This message would stay ingrained in gamers' minds for nearly 2 decades. So after a successful Kickstarter and being less than 2 months away from the franchise re-emerging, I felt it was vital to address an important question for this franchise. Kickstarter backers invested in this game in 2015. Will this game feature everything they were promised? Now, to answer this question, we have to go back to the idea of what Kickstarter is and what it's for. Kickstarter is a global crowdfunding platform focused on creativity and merchandising. The platform has received more than $4 billion in pledges to fund over 445,000 projects in various industries, including films, music, comics, and video games. With that in mind, Kickstarter is considered one of the top crowdfunding platforms for gathering money from consumers who are interested in the final outcome of the idea while circumventing traditional avenues of investment. Creators of the project are tasked with coming up with the idea, a deadline, and choosing a minimum funding goal. If the goal isn't met by the deadline, no funds from backers are collected. With this in mind, however, if a goal is met, there is still no guarantee that backers will receive what they originally were promised, nor is there any promise that the project creators will use the money to implement their ideas. They don't even have to meet original expectations. Basically, backers have to put their money in and hope for the best. Sure, it's possible that Kickstarter campaigns can be funded and then basically run away with your money, but that doesn't mean they can't be sued by backers. But the difficulties in doing so can be a bit of a challenge. So why did Shenmue go through this route? The original 2 Shenmue games were published by Sega and had massive budgets. Why not continue the trend into finishing the series? Well, long story short, Shenmue was unfortunately a financial failure. To this day, the franchise has an epic fan base that have built a large following over the years. But back in the early 2000s, the return on the investment of the first 2 games was basically impossible to achieve. every Dreamcast owner would have had to buy the game at least twice in order for the game to be even modestly profitable. And with the looming PlayStation 2 just around the corner, it was obvious that the franchise was doomed. Attempts at an Xbox release to reinvigorate the franchise didn't help things much either, since many Xbox players either never heard of the franchise or were completely unimpressed by the game's aged graphics and didn't feel the need to buy a sequel to a franchise that they've never heard of before, nor could they pick up a copy of the first game for the Xbox. It was simply doomed. So after years of development hell, including numerous attempts by both Yu Suzuki to raise interest in the game and fans signing petitions to pressure Sega into making the game, it was finally announced as a Kickstarter during Sony's 2015 E3 press conference. With that, as with any Kickstarter, the campaign set goals and promised different tiers. Fans jumped on the opportunities to invest because they wanted the game to be made. Now personally, I can't speak for others, but I can speak for myself. I threw my money at the project because I wanted the game to be made. The tier rewards were just a bonus for me. So let's go over the levels, up to $250. The list is huge, and by the time you get to those levels, you get the point. Please note that as you move up in tiers, you also get all or some rewards from the previous tiers as well, so keep that in mind. Let's start with $5. This amount is basically like, thanks for your money, but you were at least included in polls and surveys. Anyone who pledged this amount probably didn't care about anything other than participating in the support of making the game or follow the trend of the popular project. That's my assumption. Obviously, you can feel free to tell me how wrong I am in the comments. $29. Now this tier is where the bulk of investors jumped in. Basically, you get a digital copy of Shenmue 3 for PC or PS4. Digital copy? Where does it say Steam? I could have sworn it said Steam version. I need to stop. Get angry. Just stop. No, never said Steam. Just PC version. Get over it. As I mentioned previously, leave your angry comments down below. $39. So for this tier, you get wallpapers of Real Deal Rio and Sure as Sugar Shenhua, perfect models of your heroes, and of course your name on the Shenmue 3 website. Looking at the amount of backers, if someone was going to pay more than $29, most more than likely skipped this tier and moved on. $60, PC or PS4. This is where the golden ticket is. This tier had the second highest portion of contributors and is definitely the most enticing reward because you get a Shenmue 3 physical copy in an exclusive backer-only case. This case basically won't be sold in stores, and only a limited amount of these cases will be made. Definitely is one for collectors to get their hands on. And you paid the same as anyone else would when they buy the game upon release in retail stores, apart from any possible sales discounts that you'd see. Like Amazon, I think, has one. Anyway, $80. You get an international phone card to call Nozomi, Guizhang, and others from Shenmue 1 and 2. Is it worth $20 more just to hear Nozomi's voice one more time? Well, 2,000 backers thought so.
Ryo,
Nozomi, what's up?
I want to talk to you about something.
$100. This one's a bit confusing to me. Now, I'm going to read it. It says, your choice of a digital copy of the game for PC or PS4, or a physical copy for PC, plus a digital copy of the trial version for PC, plus your name in the credits. Be the first anywhere to play Shenmue 3. Get the real word straight from the development team. So does this mean that if you choose the PS4 version and you don't get the trial version for PC and name in the credits? Or is it PC or PS4 download or physical PC version, then add on everything else as well? Commas mean everything, don't they? Because I'm starting to wish I chose PC. Oops. $120. You get a Capsule Toy and everything else from the previous tier. So basically, for everything else in the previous version and one capsule toy, you paid $20 more, or about 2,151 yen. I guess capsule toy prices have gone up since the days of Shenmue 1. $160. Now we're getting somewhere. In this tier, you get backer-only advanced technique scrolls, 20 capsule toy tickets, an MP3 download of the original soundtrack with unreleased tracks, a digital art book with unreleased illustrations, and an original Shenmue 3 shirt. Now we're talking. Let's move up. We reached the tier that I pledged, $175. For me, and for almost 3,000 others, this one was the perfect choice. Everything I just mentioned in the previous tier is included with this one, but your art book is actually printed. That was worth it for me. $250. And finally, you reached the Kickstarter Collector's Edition tier. Here you get an illustration, a backer-only arcane technique scroll, a skin change feature for Ryo's jacket, and a physical CD soundtrack. And then past this, just one more pledge at $300, you would have gotten all of that. And Yu Suzuki will actually sign the Backers Edition for you. That's a huge honor, and no one in the public will get this. Okay, so we've gone through the first set of tiers, but what's the point? Why bring this up? Well, from what we've just gone through, it seems that most of these promises will be met. As of this recording, we have yet to see. But the basic idea is that as of right now, there is only one broken promise in all of the tiers. The original estimated delivery date of December 2017. That promise is long broken, and I don't think anyone seems to mind that. We're just impatient. And we all know that there are those that are angry about the Epic Games deal and have voiced their extremely upset and angry opinions about it. I can understand why they're upset, even though it was never promised, but they're doing the right thing and refunding money to all those that want it back. But then there are backers who are angry that the collector's edition items that retailers such as Amazon or Best Buy are selling will not be given to the backers for free. This is where I draw the line and say, no, stop. Just stop. Here's an analogy. Say you pledged money to open a coffee shop, and in the tier you paid for, it offered you a free cup of black coffee in your own limited edition mug. So you give your money. Months later, the coffee shop opens, and you come to collect your cup of coffee in your custom mug. You hand the owner a confirmation of your pledge, and you get your coffee and mug. As you stand there, sip your coffee, you notice others sipping their cappuccinos that they paid for. What the? So you go up to the owner and complain, I wanted a cappuccino like everybody else is getting a cappuccino. I want a cappuccino. Cappuccino. The owner then says, well, you can buy one here because everyone else bought one and we are a business. Then you leave in anger because you're no longer satisfied with your plain black coffee and your mug. The only thing you were ever promised. That's what I mean. Feel like lighting up the comments? Fine, go right ahead. So there you have it. That was my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Please feel free to let me know by hitting the like button, commenting what your opinion is on everything. Whether you agree or disagree, I'd like to hear it all. Oh, and one more thing. Before I go, I got a t-shirt to give to somebody. Welcome to the coffee shop. How can I help you? Hey, you, store owner. Give this up. This shirt belongs to you. Game Sales needs you. And of course, as always, you can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. See you guys later.